going to talk about case study number 5A, a case of a heart failure. So I'm going to talk about case history first. The name of the patient is Fredfield. His gender is male and he is 63 years old. He manufactured kitchen equipment for a living, and due to the nature of the job, he worked for long hours under pressure, especially in the trade fair weeks. During the trade fair week, at one day he had a heavy breakfast. He was waiting in the traffic. He had heartburn and angina. Therefore he took antacid. The symptoms that he experienced during the trade fair was angina, nausea, edema at ankles, joints. So one of the attendees at the trade fair took him to the hospital, and the diagnosis at the hospital was he had no myocardial infarction, although there was cardiomegaly or enlargement of heart shown on the x-rays. So I'm going to pass on to Parmis.
Okay, now let's see question 1. What test could be performed to show whether myocardial infarction has occurred? Okay, let's see what is myocardial infarction. Myocardial infarction is an interruption in the blood flow due to the blockage and the rupture of atherosclerotic plaque, which consists mainly white blood cells and lipids. So it mainly occur in the coronary arteries, and if it's untreated, it can lead to the death of heart muscle tissues. Okay, now let's see the available tests for myocardial infarction. We group it into two, laboratory tests and physical tests. Under laboratory tests, we are testing for 4 main cardiac enzymes: CKMP, LDH, myoglobin, and cardiac troponin. If the result shows elevation of these 4 enzymes, it indicates that myocardial infarction has occurred. Under physical tests, we can perform X-rays, ECG, angiogram, MRI, and radionuclide imaging. If the result shows abnormal chest X-ray, abnormal ECG, and angiogram shows coronary blockage and abnormal pictures of heart in MRI, all this indicates MI has occurred. Okay, now let's see the first test. This is a picture of a normal chest X-ray. You can see here all the parts of heart. For example, this is right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle, and the apex of the heart. Now let's compare with abnormal chest X-rays. These 2 X-rays shows there's an enlargement of the heart. This is the front view, this is the side view. This broad area here is because of enlargement of heart, and enlargement of thoracic cavity is also due to the enlargement of heart. Now let's see ECG. If your ECG shows hyperacute T wave and ST segment elevation, it shows that MI has occurred. Now let's see the picture of ECG. Okay, here you can see ST segment elevation, and the blue color here is the ST segment inversion. You can see the inversion in the precordial links. Now let's see another test is arteriogram, or can call angiogram. In this test, we will combine 2 methods: coronary angiography and cardiac catheterization. In this test, we will use an X-ray and a special dye injected into the blood flow, and the blood flow is screened for blocks. However, there are few risks under this test. The patient can get arrhythmias, heart attacks, and hemorrhage after perform this test. Okay, now let's see how this test is performed. A catheter is injected at the femoral artery and is until it reaches the heart. After it reaches the heart, a special dye is injected here, and X-ray pictures will take after the injected. So if there any blockage, we can see clearly from the X-rays. Okay, next available test is magnetic resonance imaging. This test can clearly show the amount of dead heart cells after MI. This test is more safer than the previous one, angiogram, because there's no radiation involvement in this test. In this test, you can even find out the silent heart attack. These are the picture after an MRI. You can see here there are multiple foci in the subepicardium. You can compare AB to EF, and you can see ST segment elevation in these 2 ECG. Okay, the last physical test is radionuclide imaging. Under this test, there will be 3D images of the heart. A gamma camera is used to capture the photon particles which is emitted from the radioisotopes. So now let's see the sample of radionuclide imaging. This you can see all the 3D images of heart very clearly. Okay, now let's see under laboratory testing. As I said before, we will test for 4 main cardiac enzymes. The first is troponin. Troponin is very specific to MI because it's a structural component of cardiac muscles. It releases into bloodstream after MI and will elevate within 3 to 12 hours. And after 5 to 9 days it is isotope I, and 2 weeks it is isotope T. Next is creatinine kinase. Creatinine kinase got 2 isoforms, 1 and 2. The ratio of CK-MB isoforms 2 to 1 indicates MI if it's greater or equal to 1.5. The next one is protein myoglobin. Myoglobin is not very specific to MI because it's still present in the skeletal muscles. If any trauma in the skeletal muscle, you still can find amount rise in myoglobin. We can indicate the size of MI from rise in myoglobin. If it's negative, myoglobin means no MI. Okay, the last cardiac enzyme is LDH. LDH got 5 isoenzyme, 1 to 5, and is eliminated within 12 to 24 hours and dissipates within 5 to 14 days. If isoenzyme 2 is greater than 1, condition is normal. If isoenzyme 1 greater than 2, it indicates MI has occurred. Now I'll pass on to Sue to talk about how to diagnose MI.
So I'm going to talk about the diagnosis of myocardial infarction. There are no laboratory tests or physical scans that could specifically diagnose myocardial infarction. Therefore, both laboratory tests, physical scans, and the physical symptoms of the patient must be combined to diagnose myocardial infarction. The physical symptoms of the patient are listed here. As you can see, restlessness, severe distress, increased respiratory rate, blood pressure changes, fever, and cold and pale extremities. So as a diagnosis at the hospital, Fredfield was unlikely to have any myocardial infarction. So I'm going to talk about question 2, how the swollen ankles and cardiomegaly is related to congestive heart failure. So how does water retention or edema happen in congestive heart failure? Since there are impaired function of the heart, especially in the ventricles of the heart, there will be blood backing up in the veins, which will cause the blood to back up in the venous side of the capillaries. That will cause the water from the plasma to go out into interstitial spaces between the cells, and that will cause, and since the water couldn't go back into the venous side, there would be water from the plasma still left in the interstitial spaces of the cells. That will cause the water retention. As you can see, these are the types of edema that could happen in congestive heart failure: pulmonary edema or lung edema, edema in the ankles, and a classic sign of congestive heart failure, the edema of the eyelids. These are all the types of edema that could happen in congestive heart failure. As you can see, this is the X-ray of pulmonary edema. You can see the glycers here that shows the edema of the lungs, and you can see the edema in the ankles and the extremities, especially in the ankles since there is gravity. This is how you can test it. You can poke feet or something, and there will be dilatation, and it wouldn't come up as like normal skin would be if there is edema. And these are all the edemas that could happen in congestive heart failure, and these are some of the symptoms also that could happen in congestive heart failure, like coughing, tiredness. And how does enlargement of heart happen in congestive heart failure? So in congestive heart failure, there will be damage of cardiac fibers due to myocardial infarction or cardiomyopathy, etc. And that will cause the contractibility to be inefficient in the heart, especially in the ventricles. That will, since the blood needs to be circulating normally in the body, there will be the need to improve the contractibility. But since the cardiac cells are terminally differentiated and terminally divided, there will be no more cardiac muscle cells forming. That will cause the need to grow for the cardiac muscle cells. That will cause the hypertrophy of the cardiac muscle cells, which could lead to the enlargement of the myocardium. And the stars forming in the myocardium would cause the stiffness of the heart walls, and there will be decreased ability of relaxation due to the overstretching of the ventricles or the myocardium, and which will cause the enlargement of the heart. Okay, this is how it happens. You can cardiomyopathy, one of the leading causes of enlargement of heart. You can see the normal heart here. You can see the dilated cardiomyopathy. As you can see, all the atria and ventricles are dilated, and this is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. You can see the enlarged ventricles here, and this is the restrictive cardiomyopathy. In restrictive cardiomyopathy, the heart walls, especially the ventricles, are stiffed. There is no hypertrophy. And this is also a picture of cardiac hypertrophy. This is the normal heart here, and you can see the ventricles being enlarged here. And this could all lead to the cardiomegaly. You can see the normal heart, and this is the dilated ventricle.